So, yeah, I'm finally working on the simulation. I mean, I have been saying for months that I'm kind of working towards it, getting it going, trying to get started. I even did get like the matchmaking and the jumbotron, the scoreboard working and loading with teams. I even, for a brief moment earlier this week, had a kickoff play loading into the game session, and I actually had players, all my players, slowly moving onto the field. It was kind of cool watching them move onto the field, but that was about the extent of it. They kind of ran all to the center of the field. They were all facing the wrong way. There's no animations, which I'm not even worried about animations right now. But I could have probably rotated the defense. But this is when I discovered there's some underlying problems that I have to build out. I just haven't fully built them out. So one of the things I didn't realize, I am working with AI. Okay, so and AI, I bless its heart, if it has a heart. But poor sweet little heart. It tries so hard to get things. It wants to go like I understand the objective here. I tell it to do something, it tries to go from point A to point B in the fastest logical, the fastest possible way. But here's the thing: that is not always optimal. In fact, it's oftentimes just going to create clutter and code problems, and because it ends up being like, okay, well, it figured. Here's the thing: I've set up the game to allow for different rule sets. Now, unlike many games, which lets you tweak all the little options, like what kind of kickoffs do you want, what kind of penalties do you want to allow, blah 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 blah, all the details. I actually went with a different format. I have rule sets which are based on actual NFL rules for various seasons. So there's major. They don't make changes every year, but many years they'll make significant changes. So I've got about 10 rule sets that go back to I think as early as 2000, 2000 something or other. And so you get things like kickoff rules and pass interference rules and challenge rules, that kind of thing. How many challenges do you get? All these different things, but they're all based on seasons. Well, so the 2020, let's for example, if you took the 2004 rule set, it covered a bunch of years, but if you play in the 2004 rule set, it will be for everything going forward, right? Your league is built on the 2004 rule set. And so those things apply. Now, will I allow for rule set changes in the middle? Maybe. I mean, I don't see why it would be a problem. But right now, the idea is that you can pick the rule set for your league, and that's what you'll get. So that includes things like kickoffs, which are weird, right? So most years there's just some basic things. You can't, like maybe some years you can't use a wedge formation. Other years you can. But with recent changes, the most recent kickoff changes, you have dynamic kicks. And dynamic kicks are weird because they're very limited in what you can do in scope. You can't do a lot of weird, funky stuff. You can't do squib kicks. You can't do onside kicks without telling the other team, because you have to change your formation because your kicker's 30 yards behind you. So it's a lot of tweaking for the purposes of that particular thing. So the way I'm building it up right now is the default for the original build is 2024, which is the latest, the dynamic kickoff rules. So, and that's the whole rule set. Well, to start, I decided, well, every rule set will just have a kickoff a base kickoff that's allowed for the game. And there's a few little drawbacks to that. One is you have zero. If I do it that way, you have zero options for kickoffs. Zero. Like you can't even like have scope that says, okay, defenders fall back to block the left or the right, or you do some kind of other running return strategy, because you can't pick any plays. I mean, you can't even set your game plan to pick anything. It's just going to pick the offensive and or the defensive play based on which kick receive team you are. So that is the way I'm currently doing it, and I don't like it. But as of the moment, I'm keeping it because kickoff is weird because it's got its own, they're not all legal all the time. So I have to add extra parameters to it. Like I have to add to all those plays which plays are legal, right? So I have to give them a year. Like they're only good during this if this rule set is in place, or maybe they're good if 5 different rule sets are in place. I mean, like some kickoffs will work, for the entire thing up until the dynamic kickoff. I think a lot of different kickoffs might work fine. But almost dynamic kickoff is not legal or even valid any other seasons before the dynamic kickoff came into effect. So I need to come up with a way to nest which seasons or how a kickoff play is. So the whole variation in kickoff right now is limited. Right? You have one kick return, you have one kickoff. Now, I do have onside kick as an option. But onside kicks are still pretty much the same. You just got a different yard line that you start at. So, I mean, you still have kicker comes up to the line. He still has to kick at 10 yards. You're still going for the ball. I don't have a lot of different variations in those. So onside kick is kind of a fix. So if your team kicks an onside kick, that's how they're going to do it. Now, I think a lot of games don't bother to try for that kind of depth anyway. I mean, they do a kick and a kickoff and a onside kick. They're all pretty standard, right? But I'm trying to come up with ways to give everybody variety. So in doing that, what the AI did while I was building up RunGame is instead of following the flow that I designed, which was RunGame creates a game log. Game log then goes through and says, okay, first play of the game, go talk to the use the coach service to pull up the game plan for each coach. And based on the game state, which is whatever down in distance you have to go, how much time's left, all that stuff, go have it determine what plays to return as part of a play log. Play log has the 4 plays. The one the coach chooses of those 4 plays are all marked. And then it also has basically the play execution. Play execution is a series of route actions, and they all just kind of go through, and it's just a bunch of steps, route actions. And there's steps in a route action. So a run, for example, could potentially cover 5 route steps. So route steps are like the smallest piece. And route steps are not really steps so much as the increments that a player is going to, increment of time a player is going to be doing something. So if you're running 10 yards and you don't have anybody covering you, you would basically have route steps of, what is that? 20 steps, 20 route steps, because it's a percentage, it's an amount of time, but really you're covering a certain amount of distance at every moment. And as a result, your player will cover that 10 yards in X amount of time based on your speed. Now, the other things can happen though. You could run into a defender blocks you, that slows you down. There's some route actions that have to take place, or skill checks, like whether or not you can break the block, or if a block successfully engages you, because you might just avoid it. There's catching the ball, throwing the ball, tackling, all the different things that can happen. There's a bunch of different actions that could occur. I mean, even the routes themselves could have stuff like at 10 yards you do a cut, and whether or not that cut is, which is some kind of a route action that the creates a skill check against the defender. Is the defender going to be thrown on that? Because you got to remember, in computer terms, nobody's fooled, right? I mean, if the computer's just saying follow the guy, it's like you can't lose him because the computer's not going to get faked out. But you got to give logic that says there's a chance of a fake out, which results in a delay or some kind of penalty to the defender. If perhaps he fails poorly on it and there's actually a chance that the offensive guy falls down or slips or something, which could all create other kinds of problems. But ultimately, you have these skill checks that are going to determine what happens next. Maybe the defender succeeds and he just sticks with you. He doesn't get lost on that play. Anyway, what I ended up having to do is go through the code and say, okay, I don't want kickoffs being their own thing, because it was rendering them. Like I said, for a little while, I had the guys coming onto the field, but it wasn't creating an actual game log, play log to go for the kickoff. It would just be like, hey, we're going to run this kickoff thing, and then we're going to go run the game log, which basically meant it was just saying don't bother with the game log for this first part, which didn't make any sense to me because the process is the same. Once we have the kickoff play, it should go through all the same processes. Do we want to have different actions happen on those kicks? So I decided I had to rebuild that. So of course, as a result of that, we're no longer going in to I'm no longer rendering anything in the UI. The players aren't coming onto the field because I started stepping through the code. Hey, look, that's a miracle on its own. I finally figured out how to get Go to let me step through the code. Yeah, that was a thing. That was a whole nother problem, but I got through that. I finally got learning. I learned how to get the debugger working. I had tried it before and I got it briefly way back when, but then it stopped working. And lately I've just been allowing messages and console logs to kind of guide me. But this is a little bit bigger. Let me rephrase that. This is a little bit. No, let me rephrase that. This is a lot bigger. much bigger flow going on. I got 3 services involved in it, 4 services. So I have, would probably be the better language terminology, the simulator, which is the first thing that runs. The simulator is called RunGame. RunGame goes around, creates a game session. Game session is everything about the game's setup, what the basics are, who are the teams, blah, 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 blah. And then it creates a default game state, which is all the basics of the initial, let's kick off the ball. It's like, where's the ball going to be placed at the start of the game? How much time is in the quarters? All the game rules are attached to it. What teams are involved? All that stuff. We have all of that is in the game session, and then the game state will say stuff like, okay, how much time is left? What down and distance are we? What yardage line are we at? Was there a first down? Was there a score that we need to do a kickoff? Was there, it gives you all the information for the game state. And then all that information is then passed to the coach service. And the coach service is going to pull what it needs to then read from that game state and call the game plan. It's a function called consult game plan, which essentially says, hey, I need to have the plays that are designated for this result. And what the consult game plan is going to do is it's going to go and look at all the playbooks, which is a playbook service. It's going to look at all the playbooks for the OC, the DC, the user, and it's going to pull, based on their settings, if they exist, the closest matching situation, game state situation. The game state is kind of like the situation, but a situation is smaller. It's just the down and distance and how much the score down and distance to the end zone first down and how much time's left. That's all it is. It doesn't have anything like team information or anything like that. So, but what it'll look at is each game plan and determine if there is a matching situation, and it's going to pull those plays. So there will be the code. There will be 2 user plays if the user set them up. There will be a coach play and the OC play if it's offense, and the DC play if it's the defense. And then each one of those gets assigned a chance to be selected. The coach will then get those 4 plays back. It will decide, it will run a check based on the odds of picking one of those 4. It'll mark the one that it selects, and then it returns that back to the game log or to the run play log. And the run play log, I have all the information I need from the coach service, and then the coach service, or then the run play will go through and execute the play, which is to say it steps through everything that happens in the play. It reads through the play, the selected plays, route actions. So the first thing is lineup. So everybody runs the line. That's the very first thing. There's no time on that. There's no speed on that. Really, I mean, there's kind of a speed on that. I mean, it's going to try to do that in the UI because it'll have the speed, and it'll kind of make it look like some guys are running faster than others. But it's not meant to be like anything specific. There's no route step action. They come from the sidelines. They run onto the field. And we just got to tweak their speed to make sure that they look kind of like guys running onto the field, right? Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing. That's the first simulation action I want to happen. They just line up on the field. So basically I should have guys lining up here where the kickoff is, the kicker's way back here, and I have the defense lined across, ready to return. So we have players on the field that I can look at or see or whatever. Once I have all that, then the next step is to start executing the plays, the actual rest of the play actions. So what'll happen is once they're all doing the lineup, there's not like a snap count or anything on the kickoff. The kicker does his thing. He runs up, he kicks the ball, game starts. So I'll probably have to have something like a whistle effect to sound like, hey, ref saying go for it. And then kicker runs, kicks the ball flies through the air, that kind of thing. So I've got to get all that going. I don't know how much time I have to do or how I'm going to set that up, because I have my kickers have things like leg strength and where the ball's going to go, and then I have to like have that rendered on how it gets there. How fast is the ball going to move? I don't know. I got to figure out the average speed of the ball while it's flying through the air and figure all that out. So I don't know. I don't know how other games do it. I don't want to make it overcomplicated, but I do kind of need... What I might do is something like have route actions affect... Like, I might combine a little UI magic with my play logs, which are predetermined. But it might say, okay, well, I need to render this, but I'm not gonna render the second step until the ball gets to where it's going. Like, it'll pause the rendering while the ball is being kicked, and then it'll get to these guys at that point, and then we render the return, right? And everybody else's thing. Because with a dynamic kickoff, it's a little bit different. Now, it becomes a little trickier when I can't have the balls running through the air, or like maybe I have to have other things happening while the ball's in the air. And so I haven't learned the trick. I don't know the trick yet. I'm going to figure it out. Obviously, I'll probably be talking to AI like, so how does this done? What is the typical way that games do this? But I'll probably have to do something along the lines of, what is the process to making it so that time is flying like it would kind of fly in the game. I don't know how other games do this. I know a lot of them are using the graphics engine. They don't when they pre-render, I don't know what they're doing. Predetermine, I'm sorry. If they predetermine the play or what they're doing, what parts of AI logic is actually happening, or graphic engine logic is occurring. I don't know that. I just know how I'm attempting to do it. It's really hot downstairs right now, so I could feel a breeze because my air conditioning's trying to cool me down. Usually I'm cold when I'm downstairs. So anyway, what I had to do was make it so RunGame could be called in the back end without me having to do it through the UI, because I'm not ready for UI. I got to get the play log to I got to get the play log to complete with the data I need so that I can expect it in the UI to be correct. Right now, it is not. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go run bash here. And I need to stop the services that are in fact. So we're going to stop coach and simulator and playbook and game plan. And then I set up some run tasks to debug or to open up any services that I stop and in debug mode. That allows me to go over to here. Once what's funny is it kind of goes through and attempts to start them all, and then it goes, oh, this one's already running. Oh, this one's already running. Oh, this one's already running. Oh, these 4 aren't running, so let's leave them. Let's start them. So it goes through, and it's supposed to kill them all. It's going through it. See, now they're all like going away. And the only ones, when it's done, the only ones left should be the 4 I just killed. Or, yeah. There we go. So these ones are running. We got game plan, playbook, simulator, and coach are the only. We'll just go here. We'll go. Oh, I thought they were the only ones on here. I guess not. So let's go to simulator. Simulator. And we'll just start that one up. It should put it down here in the running state. Just thinking about it. Oh, come on. Connection refused. Oh, so are we not fully running yet? It's kind of slow sometimes. Come on. This is the thing about. Why are we having problems starting? Oh, don't be like that. All right, let's try coach. Well, that one looked like it started, but I'm waiting for it to appear here. Maybe. Oh. Hello. It says it's already running, but it usually puts it down here in this list. So I'm already having issues there. Oh, there it goes. Game plan. Yeah, let's see. All right, and then we have, let's see, coach, game plan, playbook. Just thinking about it. And simulator. There's simulator. Okay, so we got 3 of them running. Where is the playbook? Tell me it's already running. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so drink. Yeah, sorry, they wouldn't fit in my mouth, man. Oh God, I got it all over my face. Anyway, so all right, so we got those guys running. So we're gonna take this back over to the terminal, and I'm gonna open up my bash session, and then we're gonna go cd cd FTZF and let's go /simulator. And then I have to get my team IDs because I got to start a session. Go run dot by going in here, finding my team IDs. In fact, I don't even know. I think team IDs are pretty easy to remember, honestly, but they kind of change when I keep building new leagues. Because they're just that team. Now, I can't use any of the 01 to 035 because those aren't valid teams, but I can use any of the bottom 8. This is the user. Oh, no, it's not user. That's the system user. Let's see. Let's go with the Joeys. Why not? I don't know what they are, but now we got home team and visiting team. So let's go. Oh, shoot. I forgot what it's called. Visiting team? Oh, away. Home and away. Okay. Away. And then we also need, well, let's go with my team because why not? The user team. And this one. Dash home. Now I should have a breakpoint on here that triggers pretty quick. So let's see what happens. No! Wait, FTZF. Wait, why didn't that run? I thought it was simulator, but let me see. Maybe it's not running a simulator? Whoa. That's weird. I don't want it. Wait. No, no. I don't want that. We gotta fix that. It gave me a weird thing. It put it in a folder. What? Just give me a function call. I can make from the simulator root. I have to keep navigating to a subfolder. Just make it something like go run RunGame home I can't. Not too bad, bot. My day's all right. It's been busy. Did my day, did my door dashing and my 5 mile run and my food bank pickup and drop off. So yeah, it's been a busy morning. But I really want to say October, which is exactly 1 year later, I will have a simulation fully running. I actually would love to have it done in September or even August, but I don't think I'm getting it past August. I don't get it done in August. That's optimistic. But hey, if I could get it past the point where I feel like all I need to do is get all my skill checks running. And, the first couple of plays, then I can run a whole game. I don't think there's a whole lot stopping me from getting all the way through a game and having a full simulation once I get past the first couple. Because then I'll just have, what do you call it? Logs that say, hey, you need to, these skill checks aren't being made. Right now, they all return true so that the game can just move on. But they're going to also log themselves as skill check not set, skill check not set, skill check not set. This way I can keep track and go, oh, okay, well, let's go implement that skill check. Let's go implement that skill check. Because I already have the skills. There's just no skill check occurring. I just have it say, okay, well, this happened, that happened, that happened. I'm defaulting to the hey, move on to the next thing. So that's the only thing that's going to stop a play. So I may or may not just try to implement all the skill checks. Once I get all the skill checks in place, the game could run through and probably look really bad because there's nothing forcing the actions to occur, right? So I'll just have to have something come back for it. And then I have to go through each one and slowly implement them. And right now there are probably about 50 skill checks that have to happen throughout the course of a game. Everything from break tackles or, blocking, evading blocking, passes, tackles, interceptions, turnovers. There's so many skill checks that have to happen. And so there's probably about 50, maybe more. I don't know. But we'll do the kickoff ones first. Let's get a kickoff through, make it look kind of sort of good. And then we'll say, okay, well, once that's done, I got to get the cycle into the next play working so that players run back, get ready, get to the line, and we execute a play. At that point, it's just kind of cyclical. You just keep running the next play, run the next play, run the next play. And the ball should keep getting, once we have the cyclical process of the first couple of things happening, then we start having actions. And then I can start doing things like implementing better game plans, because the game plans right now aren't doing, but I could watch the game and go, okay, well, that was really stupid. let's tweak this game plan so that doesn't happen again. So, so we'll slowly kind of get things to balance out. And, but for now, let's just get a game running through. Okay, so yeah, we're back to, now we're going to do it the way I want to do it, which is calling this. Let's go here. And I think the only difference is I have to put RunGame in here. Oh, didn't like it. What happened? Is not a main package. What do you mean simulator is not a main package? Oh wait, did I not do it right? What happened? My command, confirm working usage. Why do we have to put this under command? I've never had to put anything under command before. Why is it under command? I like my other functions. Require copy and command. Why are we? I don't understand why I have to be in a command folder. So I went camping last week. Yeah, whew, it's been a week. Man, I want to go back. I mean, it was fun. It just sometimes those things go so fast, you know. And I took all this stuff with me to do. I didn't get to do most of it. I took some miniatures to paint. I did do that for about 30 minutes. And then I took some of my comics I had to catch up on. Didn't do any of that. Took a game I wanted to play. Didn't do any of that. Tried to defend my horseshoe title. Didn't do that. I actually got wiped out. I got beat by one of the finalists. One of the top 2 teams at the end. But yeah, it was bad. Because my opponent threw like... They cut the games down to like 11 points, which was crazy short. I don't remember them doing that. He says we've done that every year. I don't think so. But anyway, 11 points is really short. I get it. Some of the teams are really bad, and it takes them really long time to get to 11 points. I get it. It's kind of necessary. I'd rather them go to 21, but give you 30 minutes to do it. You know, so if good teams can get there, great. But if bad teams aren't there, then it's kind of like they should give you maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever. And, or 11, you know, whichever comes first. Yeah, no, comes second, right? Something like that. So, in other words, 11 points minimum. So 40 minutes, 11 points minimum. That's how they should have done it. So you can play all the way out to 21, but end the game immediately, regardless of time. But at least then you have a chance to play the full thing. And you don't have a problem of not getting to, like, it's only overtime if it's not 2 points and it's not at least 11 points. That's what I think they should have done. That would have been the better way, I think, because 11 points is silly. You don't give, yeah, I'm going to complain about that. I mean, right now, I didn't really complain about it while I was there. Anyway, so yeah, let's see. Let's see. Has to run from bot. There's no root level alternative without breaking molescate. If the extra CD is genuinely annoying, it could add a VS Code Tassa JSON entry. Now, all right, I will just go with it. At least it gave me a reason. At least I understand why it's doing it. So I guess I have to stop being a baby. Oops, wait. Why did it? Huh? That shouldn't have taken me back to the root. Should have just taken me to the next folder. That was weird. All right, wait. Ding, Narvit. Jeez, what the heck? What's going on? No such file. What? What is? Where the heck am I? I don't know where I am. Where? Is it really? Oh my gosh. Did I really jump all the way out? Oh my gosh, I did. That was goofy. I tell you, man. Gonna run for me? Should take me to a break point. But will it? It's not airing, but it's not moving either. Hello? Hello? Are we still functioning? Anybody home? Hello? Bot, you get so distracted. Hello? What's happening, man? This is but I'm stuck. It's like it's not. It's a. I think it's running, but I don't know it's running. So I ran the run game function, and now it appears to be stuck. I am running the simulator in debug mode, but I did not hit a breakpoint, and nothing appears to be happening. I need. So I have run game here, but if you look, well, down here somewhere. I put a breakpoint. There it is. Breakpoint right there. I'm trying to get to this breakpoint, but nothing happened. So I gotta figure out what's going on. See, it just got here and it's just like sitting here. It's like it didn't stop. It didn't like kick me out. It just didn't do anything. There's no anything. I'm not even paused. I'm in a like am I looping? I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna have to start using syslog messages just to have it kick stuff out. Because right now it's only logging on errors, and that's not ideal. Now I guess it's possible it's doing some kind of weird loop. I have a feeling it might be. I may have to just, I'm going to kill this. I don't think it's doing what it should be. Let's kill this. Well, Control C should kill it, but if it's having, yeah, I dumped it. Okay, so I'm just telling AI what it did, so it doesn't go, oh, you're the reason it blew up. So yeah, let's do some stuff here. Let's actually put the break a lot sooner, or an early break, just so that I know that the problem is, you know, if I stop it early enough, I should be able to at least see it. Because I think what it might be is that somewhere along this route, before I get to this next break, it blew up. And I didn't actually let it. It got there in. It blew up in the middle before I even got to that break point, and that was not ideal. So let's try this again. Now, if it's breaking sooner than that, like we get to this, but we're still not hitting my break point, which means something's going on. It's basically just stopping here. See, like I have a break now. The break point is at the very beginning of RunGame. It's like the very first line. I mean, we have a context, and we're still not actually getting anywhere. So we're still weird. Now, unless my breakpoint is not getting hit, it says we're running. But load a comic. I mean, this is fine. I don't even know when is this happening though. Let's see. Is this a line I can go to? No. Let's do this. I think this is actually not happening in RunGame though. I think this is happening within the common files, which won't help me at all. Yeah, it's happening here. But I wonder if I could put a break. Well, I could put a break. I don't know. Is this loaded though? I think it might be. Where's this called at? This is called in the init. So something is firing this off. Have you figured anything out yet? It doesn't know what's going on. So what I might have to do is put a break here and see if that'll trigger anything. Because obviously we're not getting to this. Now that's if my break is working. Like I said, it's possible. It's like it's not hitting my debug code. Now it says it's running in debug mode, but it might not be. I mean, so if this is the case, I should be able to break here. I don't know what triggers init. Like, I think it's probably in main.go or something, but yeah, it's not giving me any clue. So when I start run.go, yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Supports for blah 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 blah. You're now listening blah 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 blah. Okay. What are we doing? The real problem is that the CLI I gave you, it produces 0 console output while it's working, even when everything is functioning correctly. I checked blah 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 blah. All bail out silently if there's no trace ID on the context. That confirms it. My RunGame CLI passes plain context.background, which has no trace ID in its metadata. So every syslog error call inside the entire play loop silently no ops. A working A working but slow run and genuinely stuck run look identical in the terminal. Nothing prints either way. Also confirmed there was no separate deadlock. This runs the game logic itself in process. The already running debug simulator server is a completely unrelated process. It never talks to, never attaches a debugger. Let me fix the CLI, add a timeout so a real hang fails loudly instead of sitting silently forever, plus a message. Wait, what? Wait, what? What do you mean it's not using my debug? No. So the debug is not doing it. How is it supposed to hit my breakpoints? Breakpoints never had a chance to hit. Running go.run directly in a terminal doesn't attach a debugger. You'd need the launch RunGame config F5 for that. Because there are two separate simulator processes involved and only one of them is under a debugger. Debug simulator task already running. Starts with no arcs. The real gRPC server launched under headless valve. This is the process Unity Gateway talks to the actual gameplay. If you attach it via attach simulator and set a breakpoint, the breakpoint fires when a real RunGame gRPC calls come in from the wire. Your go run. This starts a third brand new OS process. It builds its own in-process service and calls SVC RunGame directly inside itself. It never makes a network call to port 2004, so it never touches the already running debug serve at all. And because you launched it with a plain go.run in terminal, not through VS Code, no debuggers attached to this process either. Two different processes, same source code compiled into each. A debugger attached to one can't break into hit the other. So right now, neither process is actually giving you a breakpoint hit. Use launch. Run and debug. Select launch RunGame. Prompts for home and away team, then runs under Delph. Okay. So with this option, will it hit my running debug services for child service calls? Such as coach, playbook, game, client services. You know, learn. It's constantly something I'm learning. You know, I start doing the debug stuff, and now I'm learning debugging because it's like I was debugging in C# a lot with Unity. I mean, I stepped through that. I understand C#. I know C# pretty good. So I've been cleaning up, following the code, and it was easy. I mean, you attach to Unity, it runs in, it steps, blah, blah, blah. It does what it's supposed to do. But now I'm trying to debug services in Go on the network So I had them all running because I had to get them set up so that when Unity would call in, I could break on those calls and step through. But then I was like, why do I want to start Unity for this? I don't even need to. I just want to see the outputs and run, make sure that my backend is working before I even call it from Unity. Then I can work, because really the call from Unity should only be debugging Unity, right? It goes in, it gets the data, and then you step through Unity to see, that it's loading and handling that data correctly. But by doing it a call from Unity while I'm preparing and setting up the backend code, the running code, it just creates a whole layer of junk I don't need, because that doesn't matter right now. I mean, I'm not trying to render it. I don't even know that I have the right data. In fact, I know I don't. So I want to build it up so I can say, okay, let me look at these. Do I have all the parts I need? And then when Unity goes and calls it, it's going to get back all the parts because I know all the parts are there. Then I can go, okay, it's not working in Unity because it's not rendering something correctly. It's not reading the right fields. It's not doing something. And I can do it all there. That's creating a whole layer of stuff that I don't need until I'm done. It's like when I did all of the skill creations, when I created all the skill logic, I didn't call the skills from somewhere. I didn't start the build players while I was doing it. I just wanted to run the skill so I could go test the skill, tell me what we've got. So now I'm trying to do the same thing with RunGame. And it's giving me, it was a lot of the junk. So now I just want to go in and debug the RunGame, make sure it's doing its thing. And as you can see, I'm running into problems because apparently there's things I don't know about how these things work. So yeah, let's see what happens. It always says you're right to push back on this. Why does it have to tell me this stuff? Okay, great. User answer Claude's question. Yes, that's actually one of the strong points of option A. Launch RunGame breakpoint will fire exactly the same way as they do today, independent of how run the simulator side, because the CLI, like the real simulator service, reaches coach, playbook, player, teams, and user account over real gRPC calls to whatever processors are actually listening on those ports. So what option A, breakpoints and RunGame? Okay, so I guess we're going to go with option A then. Given that option A is strictly better for your case, same coverage for the dependent services, plus your get simulator set breakpoints, go ahead and in VS Code, run and debug panel, select launch RunGame. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we're going to go launch. Where's that at? Run and debug. Oh, launch. Oh, there's attach and there's launch. Okay, so we'll launch RunGame. Hit F5, it'll prompt for home. It will. Oh, there it is. RunGame home team. Oh, okay. I was like, where's it prompting me at? I don't see no prompts. It's up here. Of course, because the prompts for VS Code are always at the top. Now, let's see. This is home. And then away. It's not my favorite because it's kind of a pain to do it this way. I'd rather just drop it, but whatever for now. All right, so I put it there. I still didn't hit a breakpoint. Shouldn't I have done something? Shouldn't something have happened? Oh, okay. It did come up, just took its time. Pause on breakpoint. Okay. So I did go here. I don't need this. Let's take that. All right, so here we go. Not a whole lot. You did miss the part where I figured out how to get this dumb thing running. So that's a thing. All right, so I've got it running. I'm finally stepping through RunGame. Now, I still got to figure out, there's a point at which it blows up. Now that's the problem. And the key to that blow up is the fact that I need to now I'm talking with a mouthful. Sorry. Yeah. My distracted eating. That's movie theater popcorn. Sometimes I'll make air popper, but I go to the theater, I get AMC, and AMC lets you refill your bucket once or refill it. Sometimes more than once. It's popcorn from AMC Theater. I go to the movies with my wife, and then when the movie's over, we bring the bucket out, and I get it refilled, and I take it home. And then I don't put butter on my popcorn, so I put it. I can put it in a gallon size freezer bag, or in this case, one of these things, and then I just have a snack that it's good for as long as I want it, I guess. And I go see a movie every once or twice a week, or once or twice a month, or 2 or 3 times a month, and I can fill it up, get fresh popcorn, whatever. And then I put it at my desk and it's a snack. It's actually not a bad snack. So anyway, that's a distraction. So let's go ahead and step through this thing. So I don't think the problem is up here. I think the problem is happening below. Because we're getting to a point. Let's go here. I don't know if this even works. It doesn't. See, when I hit F5, it just skips all my breakpoints. See, it's like done. It's like it ran and said, okay, I'm done. And it won't, and it doesn't tell me anything. There's no errors, no nothing. How am I supposed to know what's going on, man? There's no output. Why? Where is the output going? I know. If it's working correctly, I should be able to go here. I'm pretty sure I started my Docker stuff. So which this would allow my system login work. Come on. Why is it slow, man? Oh yeah? Well, if you don't eat it with butter, it doesn't get soggy. As long as you get it in a bag, get it in something that's pretty air sealed, it should be good. Oh, wait, Docker's not running? What do you mean Docker's not running? Did I restart my computer today? I must have. Because usually I don't usually have to have Docker open as long as it started the engine. I just need to start the engine or I won't be able to monitor it. I don't like to have Docker up because it takes more of my memory, and I've already got memory issues with this computer. I had to shut down my tablet monitor because it was making my computer blow up. Overheating and frames lost, and yeah, it just became a big mess. I couldn't even stream. Now I can kind of stream better when that one's off, but I really need a computer upgrade, big time. You can't develop a game on an underpowered computer, or you can if it's not too underpowered, and that's what I've got. I've got a not too underpowered game computer. It's underpowered, but not too underpowered. I need at least 120 gigabytes of memory. I'm currently functioning on about 32. I need a processor that can handle it. I need a computer that can keep itself cool with enough fans. I just, you know, I'd rather have, instead of an external GPU, I need to have it in the computer. So I'd really like to build a better computer, but I don't have any money. So I'll just have to work through that, I guess. I'm waiting. Oh, you probably can't see. I'm waiting for that Docker engine to start. It's kind of slow. See, I need the Docker engine up. Yeah, well, you can't be smart with money when you have no money. I mean, the money I do have just doesn't get spent on those things because it's so little. Because, we have to pay our bills, we got a house, got to pay our house payment, got to pay our bills, monthly bills. And so we don't have a ton of extra money. Plus, right now we have more expenses than we have income. So we're actually burning through. We're actually using money from our retirement, and I'm not old enough to take money from my retirement. So we're being penalized. So we're losing like 20% of that every time I take money out. So it sucks. And good grief, Docker. What is taking you so long? Just start the dang thing already. Holy French fries, man. Ha! No, I don't think. I don't. I'd imagine it's probably not much more than I see in this window right here. You probably see something that looks a lot like this. So, yeah, it's pretty tiny. Tiny and unreadable, but that's kind of not has no use to me. But when I say you, I don't necessarily mean you, bot. I mean you being the invisible people who may or may not ever come by this video and watch it. What is going on, Docker? You're holding me up. Figure it out, man. Oh, finally. Holy French fries. That took forever. I don't know. Maybe it was conflicting with whatever this was doing. Compose start. Does it start that way? Oh, nope. Oh, whatever. Just start it, man. Sheesh. That took forever. Okay. Start that one. Are we like, am I hitting like a wall? Is my memory gone? Am I hitting a frames blow up? Because my music stopped. When my music stops, I get worried. Oh, nope, it ended. That's why. we go. Okay, so I think I have all those running now. But I think part of the problem is I need to so my computer doesn't have a function key lock. So if I don't hit function when I hit F5, I don't think it works right. So yeah, it's just another problem. Okay, so this says it's running, but I don't see it running. So can I hit Control C on this? I expect this to go away. Go away. Okay. And we'll go back over here. And we will try this again. Oh, it held it. Oh, good. Means I don't have to give it again. It is quite slow, though. I don't know why it's so slow, to be honest. So what's the normal? When you lock? Do what you got to do. Well, that's one strategy. Not useful, but it's a strategy. So F10 is working. So why is F5 not going to another breakpoint though? Oh, it did that time. Okay, well, it went to, okay, so I have both my teams, the teams I passed in, so that's a good thing. I'm not sure, okay, if I pass in, if new session, resolve team IDs. The game session is the authoritative source when it's already has team IDs assigned. Fall back to request params only when the game session has no teams yet. Huh. Oh, so it's going to skip this line? Is that what's going to happen? Oh, okay, so it's skipping those because it already has them. Okay. All right, so we have that. So theoretically, this says it's going to log something. Now, I expect this is going to log somewhere, but I don't know where. Where did it log? That's the call stack. And it's not logging here. Is it in the container? Because inspect. I don't know where is the files at? System logging. Great. Okay. So where is the logging in? View logs. That's what I want to see. System logging service started, purge job, purge logs, DB purge logs, system service running. Okay, so I don't know where that's going because it didn't put anything in here, even though it's supposed to. So I have syslog firing, but it don't know where this went. So I gotta see what's going on here. So it's flipping through the code. I see some syslog messages, and but they do not seem to appear anywhere. I have the system login service running, and they don't go there. I have the simulator service running in debug, and they don't go there. Don't go through that terminal. I have the simulator service showing in the console. In another console, the service for the debug session was launched, and they don't go there either. So where are the log messages going? Somewhere under the rainbow, way up high. I don't know, man. It's just gone. Just gone, man. I run them, and they're just gone. I would imagine this error is going somewhere. But the where? Review issues? Is there an issue? GitHub. That's not it. That's not a thing. I don't want to be in GitHub. Why am I in GitHub? Oh, I'm in the containers. I need to be in the debug window. This is a call stack. That's not going to help me any. So I have no idea where these log messages are going. It's like this went in there and it printed, but I have no idea where. That's a mystery to me. I would have thought it would have showed up like right here somewhere. But alas, I have no idea where it is. I kind of would have thought it would go here, but then it said that this doesn't even matter because it's just creating its own instance. This is only if I hit it from Unity or from a curl statement, which would be more useful. Launch RunGame. Is it here? No. Come on, man. Give me some feedback. What's going on? Explain this to me. AI, what is happening? Why is my code not appearing before me in my window? It's got to be here somewhere. Hello? Okay, all right, blah, blah, blah. All route through log and log bails out at line 19111 with 0 side effects. No RPC call, no local print, nothing. Stop jumping all over the place. I can't see what you're saying. How am I supposed to know what you're saying if you just keep jumping it off the screen? No trace ID on the context. It's not going anywhere. You're not looking. It's genuine dead end. Blah, 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 blah. Locally regardless of trace ID. So if you hit a system log error call instead, you would seen it in the CLI's on terminal. Why there's no trace ID? It only gets attached to CTX when a request crosses a real gRPC network hop. One more thing worth knowing, I checked, and no backend service, simulator, coach, simulator, playbook, etc. Forwards trace ID onward to the next hop either. Only gateway sets it. So even in normal Unity-driven gameplay today, coach's playbook own syslog calls are silent too. One hop past the gateway. That's a pre-existing gap in the whole system, not something specific to the CLI. I won't touch it now, but flagging it since it's surprising. No, we got to fix that. So you're saying, so it's saying that my whole system logging setup that I went through all the trouble to get created, which works when I'm running through the UI. Well, that's not my fault. You're the one who said you could run on a higher resolution, but you choose to run on 144p. It's not my fault you run on next to no. You're obviously, what are you running on, a phone? I mean, no computer would ever try to display 144p. So you must be on a phone running on micro. I mean, even on a phone that runs high resolution, it still probably wouldn't work very well because it's a phone. This big screen. But, I mean, you must have a really low-end computer. I mean, why would you run on 144p? But does it matter? I mean, really, Bot, you're not a coder, are you? I mean, you don't pay any attention to code. You're just, I mean, you don't, I mean, what do you do? I don't even know what you do. What's your MOS, man? I imagine you do something, right? Are you in school? What is your thing, man? Anyhow, I mean, if you're not, you say you wish you could see what's happening, but if you're not a coder or you're not a game developer or anything like that, what is it you hope to get from this? I mean, I'm glad to have you here, man, chit-chatting, but it's not, it's kind of funny. Maybe. Is it funny? I don't know. Oh, I see. Never mind. All right, let's see what it says. Why there's no trace ID. One more thing worth knowing. I checked, and no backend service forwards the trace ID onward. So even in normal Unity-driven gameplay today, coach's playbook own syslog calls are silent too. One hop past the gateway. I'll fix what's actually fixable here. Give the CLI a synthetic trace ID, so RunGame's own syslog calls and anything else running directly in that process actually reach system logging. Root cause, syslog info intermorn debug, all route through log, which silently no ops. In production, that metadata only gets attached when a request crosses a real gRPC hop from the gateway, whose HTTP middleware mints the trace ID and sets it as ongoing metadata. Your CLA calls service run game directly in process, no gRPC hop. No, nothing ever sets it. Not a wrong terminal problem. Those calls are true no ops. Side note, even in normal Unity, fix the CLI now, mints its own trace ID and attaches it to CTX. Okay, system logging needs to work. All right. That's actually, this is going to be a new thing. So let's go here, go to Git Bash. System. Oh wait, nope. What am I doing? Claude. No, it's PowerShell because Claude runs from PowerShell. I've noticed that if you use this little button here, okay, so this little button up here, Claude Code, will take you to CLI, but it's the long way to CLI because normally what that button does is it opens up the little generic terminal, the generic Claude window, which is like the side view window, and it tries to run, you know, the regular prompting. You don't. It's not the command line entry, the CLI. So what it does, since I set it to say take me to the CLI whenever I click, it opens PowerShell and then it runs some weird little script comment. It doesn't just type Claude and run. It does other stuff. It takes really long. But if you just open a PowerShell terminal and type Claude, it takes a second, but it's bam, it's up. It's just there. As I say that, well, see, there it is. But I mean, it's way quicker. Watch it. Watch in comparison. If I click this and I say open me a Claude window, it goes here. It opens this window. Then it runs this weird Claude command thing, and then it sits there for a minute. Okay, maybe that wasn't a lot. Normally it's really slow. It wasn't a lot different there, but normally it's really slow. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like this is faster. Okay. I need you to review how my services are implementing the system. It has come to my attention that no logging is occurring during processes that don't initiate through the gateway. Such as when I am running in debug mode locally via function calls, or even later when games run automated from the back end. If they do not go through the gateway. Part of this, it seems, is related to the fact that we are not generating trace IDs when we do not initiate calls via the gateway. Perhaps we need the system log stub local a system log to provide the trace ID to any initial hit. And that trace ID gets passed through to each subsequent call during that slow, regardless of where the call initiated. What do you think? This flaw could explain why I often do not see logs for various services when I would expect all of them have some kind of logging being attempted. All right, so we'll let that stew for a bit. Let's see what it did here. So it fixes CLI now, mints its own trace ID and attaches it to a CTX via new incoming context before calling RunGame and prints it up front. That makes RunGame's own syslog calls. Fix. Okay, that's good. Trace, try it again. You should see the trace ID printed at startup, and this time the syslog. Okay, so does it mean relaunch? All right, so let's go ahead and stop. You know, there's a lot of start and stops when you're programming, man. Programming is stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Because a lot of times just getting yourself going and you're not even doing the thing you wanted to. Like this is just fixing how my logging is occurring so I could see my freaking logging. So it's kind of a thing. Okay. Let's see what happens here. We'll start this puppy up again. We'll hit enter, and then we'll hit enter again, and it's off and running, and it's gonna go do its thing. I don't know where it said it would print it, but where? I don't know. I don't know where it's running this. Where is this? Okay. Where did it go? You say I will see it. I will see the trace ID at startup. Where will I see it? Is it printing to console? As I would expect. Is it printing to the simulator console? Which is where? Or to the system logging service log. Okay, so let's go look. Let's go look here. If it did print anything, it'll be right here. See, it did not print to the system logging service, so it's not system logging service. I would have expected it would show up here. It says I'll see it at the start. Is it here? Store play. I see a lot of stuff here, but I don't see any logs. And if I go to here, that didn't print anything. I don't know where the heck it's talking about. Didn't print anything there. Or there. I don't know. I don't know where it is. I'm guessing it's here, but I don't know. Config, system logging, start purge, purging logs. Now, I assume it's still working here, but I don't. It's possible it's not. I mean, I expect the system logging would be kicking out messages here. But alas, you know what they say about assuming things? Don't do it, because it's not the, apparently makes you look bad. Don't assume it's stuff. Or my early effects has a real gap. Oh, great. The server only persists the log entries to the database if the trace ID was registered via start trace first. Must find a matching record. See service logging. Since I minted a trace ID locally without ever registering it, those entries get silently rejected. They'd only show up if that system logging instance happens to have console logging enabled, and even then only in its own console, not yours. Let's see what this guy did. Oh, he's still thinking about it. He's still thinking about the problem. Okay, so system logging is something I built. It's a what I call a core service. Okay, so I have a couple of core services right now. I've only got 2. I have another one that I'm considering, but the core services are logging and authentication. Now they run an entirely behind the scenes services. So various applications will call into those services, and it'll do things like log errors and messages and other stuff into the database, so that when a user's app or game goes kabooey, theoretically, if everything's working, those kabooies go through an error log and get put into the database, and I'll have the user's ID and the game ID and what happened. I'll have the whole trace of where it went kabooey. If everything's working correctly. And then when I can reference the errors myself, or the user could tell me, hey, this thing blew up on me, man. And then I can go through and say, oh, let me look up your user ID and go, da, da, da. Oh yeah, you got this error doing blah, 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 blah. And it'll theoretically be putting stuff into the database that I can go through and later trace and track down if I have enough information. Now, granted, I may have to go try and replicate it, but it'll store things like what information was being passed, what was being called, what happened exactly that it went kablooey. Now, can I fix those situations all the time? I hope so. But that's what the log is about. Something maybe more complicated to fix. But ultimately, these little hiccups are proving that it's not fully functional, or at least not in all the places I want it to. It is logging stuff, but it's not always logging stuff correctly. So how do you want to actually see these log messages? Local echo and the CLI console recommended. Local echo is supposed to be a feature of the system service already when running in the local environment. If it is not doing that, we definitely need to fix it. Where does each thing print? The trace ID, blah, blah, blah. So with fixed, don't expect to see anything scroll by in real time anywhere. The payoff is that the messages are now durably persisted and queryable by trace ID after the run instead of being silently discarded. If you want to actually see them, You need to query system loggings, get logs, trace ID for that trace ID. I don't know if there's already a UI for that. Well, system logging has its own log. I can, if I have to, load at it. So this code should be putting stuff into its log if no log settings document exists in Mongo yet. System logging defaults to log the console true, blah, 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 blah. So you're right. Console echo is supposed to happen by default. Here's the important detail, though. That console print happens inside the system logging service's own process. Not in the CLI's console, not in the simulator's console. It's a completely separate terminal window from either of those. So rerun RunGame now with fix CLI, which properly calls start trace this time. Then go back to the terminal console where the system logging service itself is running. You should see lines like, okay, well, let's see what happens. We will start and stop it again, because I expect to see stuff here. We will find out if, in fact, we are. I opened it up also in Docker. So in theory, in case this window is not showing what it's supposed to show, then this will show what it's supposed to show. So let's go over here and see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run my, oops, nope, go back here. Turn it back on. All right, so we're going to stop this again. I should see a startup message. Like it says, it should kick off a trace ID. I mean, something. If not, we'll run to, let's just see what happens. Do this. I may have to make it trigger the system log, because right now, it's quite possible it's not actually triggering the system log. So we'll have to go through a line. At some point, it'll go here. Oh, wait, it did something. Blah, 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 blah. Something happened. No. Purging logs. Purge 3 old function traces. Purge 349. FTZF. DB. Purge complete. Oh, I don't even know what that was. That was like totally unrelated to what I just did. That's like, I don't know. Probably because I referenced it. Okay, so we'll go here and, all right, so we're going to go in here. This should do a syslog enter RunGame. Simulator, RunGame, trace, enter. Okay, so we created a trace when we got here. So that's good. Now we are actually seeing some logging. That means I should expect stuff to happen. All right, at least I know where I can look for my stuff. So as I hit stuff, it'll trace. Hopefully it knows that if syslog's doing its job, it's looking at the I could probably step through it, but I don't want to right now. But I do have system settings that say only log to the console, because logging to the console does me no good in production. But what it will do is log to the database in production. And then it does these purges that run every so often, even through the day. And it dumps, in fact, it'll dump a trace if there was no error during the trace. So it'll log all the stuff that happens, and then if there was no errors or anything, it'll delete it. And it just runs, delete, runs, delete. So hopefully, if a user has a problem, if a user has a problem during their course, an error gets logged, because if it doesn't, then I lose the trace. But because I have to, I can't keep all the stuff that's happening during a trace, because it's too much. I just have to log it, because if a system blows up or something happens to a user, I kind of need to know what was the last thing that occurred. So we're able to trace it down. Hopefully I'm getting those errors before things blow up, but I may have to add some problems or add some additional logging. And it's possible I'm not covering all log spots. I put a lot of logs in. I put stuff like this in mostly because I need to know where I'm at when it calls. So it's like RunGame. Enter is like we just started the trace. That's what that means. All right. So now, oh, what just happened? Did it just stop? Oh my gosh. I hate the fact that my function keys don't continue to work. I have to keep clicking the button. Let's try that again. Okay, so now it's back up. And I gotta wait for it to get started. And then it's gonna put another simulator thingamabobber on here theoretically. Once I get, oh, here we are. All right, now we're going. We're off. We're off and running. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and run to the next one. So we have some information coming in. Now we know this is going to skip. Now we should get something here. It's going to tell me what's going on. We have our team IDs. It's minimal. I don't really need that, but at least I know it's logging. All right, let's, well, I guess we'll find out. We're not having any problems there. Not hitting any errors. Got home team details. We're not logging anything. Okay, that's good. We're just getting our stuff. We're not nil. Then we run our flip a coin nonsense, which is just getting information. We're running a flip. Who gets the win, blah, blah, blah. Who's going to get the ball first, that kind of stuff. So we'll just keep stepping through here. Winning team, blah, blah, blah. I think I'd rather have this whole coin flip be its own special function. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is just like an extra thing. It would simplify things to take the entire the whole process out of the RunGame. Now we're going to create the game session from the information we have. Why does it say create? It's not really creating it here. We have the game session already. We've already created the game session. Where else is this called at? All right, so we are using it up here, but we skip. It's actually not used a lot until we're way down. So why are we doing that first? Probably because we already have it from here. Huh. So it's not really create a new game session then. See, as we get new game session here, this logic is nonsense. We should this should be like populate game session or add, fill game session and whatever. Update game session. That's probably what it should be. Update game session. But yeah, that's not a lot. That's not a correct comment. Can I change it? I mean, I could probably change it, but it probably won't do anything. Right. Probably shouldn't make a difference. I didn't change the line and the code doesn't hit comments. So let's see if that's true. Ah, I was wrong. It stopped. Oh, wait, no. There it goes. I don't know what happened. Okay. Save the new game session to the database. Okay, so now we put our populated database. What I should do is like update and save the game session. because this is where the game session has all the basics of what it needs, right? So this is what makes a game session is a game. I could have called it a game because a game is everything that a game is, right? But game is very ambiguous in the world of the code because the game you're playing is a game, but the game that the players are playing is a game. And then there's, all the different, like maybe in-game games that you can play. Those are all game. Everything's game. So I needed to create a whole special situation. So I created a game session. What are you puppers doing? Huh? What are you guys doing? You guys are making a lot of noise over there. Gotta say hi to my pups a little bit. Yes, you're silly. My other pup will come over to me pretty soon and start staring holes into my back. It's time to go for a walk, Dad. It's time to go for a walk. Hello. Go for a walk, Dad. Go for a walk. And I'll just feel it. And I'll turn around and she'll be like, doing her doggy eyes on me. And like, I know what you want. There's only one or two things you want. You want dinner or you want to walk. And probably both. But if we don't take her for a walk, she will be all up in my business all night for the rest of the night. So I have to I don't see you. I don't know you're there. I don't know you're there. Okay. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's step through it. See, we've saved in our game session to the database. Assuming everything's working. Did it do it? What just happened? Well, that's a thing. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Did it just stop? I think it just stopped. Did something happen on the save? Do we have a bug right here? Huh. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Unless it's timing out or something. Oh, maybe it complained because, well, no, it did do that. All right, well, let's close this. I don't need this one anymore. Yeah, I probably don't need that one anymore either. So now we're here. This is where did I hit a bug? No, maybe I waited too long. It might be timing out and the debug is blowing up. But it didn't. Okay, so it got past that. If it's not nil, game session created, ID. What is the game session ID going to be? Let's see here. Ugh. I'm going to let it go. I'm not a big fan of GUIDs. They're such big, ugly things. I really, really don't like GUIDs. They're just big and ugly things. But who knows? I figure, okay, so to me, 10,000 users is a good number of users, right? And this is like in total in the life of my game. I feel like that's a lot. Now, I've seen a lot of other games and they're getting, 1 million downloads, but that doesn't necessarily mean you got 1 million players, right? You got 1 million downloads, and it's usually over the course of years of the game existing. A small game. Some games it could be all up front. But this is a small indie game. It's probably going to get mediocre feedback. I mean, I hope it's good. I mean, I'm going for good. I want to have PC Steam ratings in the 90s. Of course, everybody wants that, right? I want my phone app to get good pull downs and downloads and people playing it. But 10,000 would be good. And so I have to, so that's kind of where that's where my bar is for ideal. I mean, obviously ideal is more, but I mean like, that's my minimum ideal number of users. If I can do that in a year, great. Simultaneous users, whew, that'd be amazing, but it's never going to happen. I don't even think Marvel Snap has 10,000 simultaneous users now. Marvel Snap's only been around for a couple of years, but I would imagine there are like a couple thousand simultaneous. If I'm doing a couple hundred, I'd be happy. You know, I mean, let's see what. Let's go look at Copilot. Okay. I don't even know if Copilot could tell me this. Where is a good source of information regarding the what do you call it? Concurrent user counts for games like Marvel Snap with both mobile and PC. Then in comparison, indie games. I know my game cannot hit Snap numbers, but what is a good goal for an indie game? Let's see if it says where. You need 2 categories of sources: team-based concurrency. For Marvel Snap, concurrent users is 1,200 to 2,300 concurrent players. So it's an all-time peak of 19,000. Wow, that's really good. On launch day only. So realistically, on launch day, I have 100. I'll be lucky to have 10,000 downloads, much less that in a year. Okay, so mobile platforms do not expose concurrency. Instead, you use AppMagic, SimilarWeb, Sensor Tower. These provide daily active users, monthly active users, revenue, download trends. Marvel Snap, mobile Diaz, 770,000, 360,000 daily players. Wow, that's insane. Monthly active users. Wow, these numbers are far larger than Steam because mobile is the dominant platform. How to compare this to indie games. Top tier indies: Hades, Slay the Spire, Vampire Survivors. Oh, so okay, so these guys are doing 10,000 to 60,000 concurrents. Sustained 3,000 to 20,000. Jeez, for months. So 3,000 on the low end for high-end compete games. Successful mid-tier indies, 1,000. So we're talking about sustained 300 to 1,500 is about, if I wanted to be considered successful, I'd have to be in that range. But this is the realistic thing. This is healthy. This is my game is not crap. This to me is like, this is like all those people are just making crap. People are playing them, but they're just like, yeah, whatever, it's cheap. But this is, I have a good game. It's not, I mean, successful would be great, but ultimately, this is, you're doing all right. I don't know if you're making any money, but your game picked up some people. Given your project, cross-platform, no massive marketing budget, indie scale team, a strong goal would be peak, sustained, 150 to 400. So they're saying I could reach somewhere about here. Somewhere in this middle zone. Obviously, sustained above 300 would be great. So 150 to 400. 150 would be, well, definitely above this. It's like midway through the healthy and somewhere up here. So healthy niche is 150 to 500 peak. Sustained, though, that'd be great. I'd be happy with that. I mean, I'd like to do that. Mobile, daily active users. Monthly active users. Man, that would be awesome. If I had 40,000 to 150,000, God, that would be like, that's the dream, man. If I had 40,000 people use my game every month, that would be insane. How come mobile's bigger than PC? I mean, I guess everybody's got a phone, right? You've got millions of people with phones, probably more people than have PCs. And probably a lot more of those people play games on their phone. So I kind of get it, but mobile daily active users, 270,000. That's just insane. They have so many people. So I need this. I need concurrent users over 200 for a game that has matchmaking. I mean, really, you just need people to be on, right? I mean, they can matchmake against active people. You can even matchmake against inactive people. It doesn't matter. Matchmaking feels slow. Players' retention drops. Social features weaken. Yeah. I don't have a lot of social features planned. I mean, you're playing against other people, but there's not a lot of interaction. Kind of like Marvel Snap doesn't allow a lot of interaction either. I mean, if people drop off, I mean, I think with 200 people, the game can keep going because you're going to get AI games anyway. I mean, you want to see how you are against all the games, including the AIs. But you want to play against people. So obviously, if I can match against people, even better. But I don't see why it has to be slow. I don't understand. I guess it depends on if you're trying to match people against their skill levels, right? Then you have more work to do. You got to go find all the players that are kind of in their range. You got to kind of try to pull down, you know, their win percentages or their, not just their win percentages, but maybe win percentage against strength. So you got to give every player kind of a strength value. And then you pick people, you pick ranges of teams to pick their opponents from. But you also don't want to be playing the same opponents. You know, if you only got 200 concurrent players and you want the guys to play within people who are in their range, or, you know, 10 above, 10 below, based on the ratings, that means you're only giving them 20 people. Or maybe everybody gets some kind of a power value. So you need to put people in groups, like everybody who's got power values between X and Y, which could result in more. But if you're at the top tier, your X and Y might be smaller because there may not be as many people who've gotten to that power value. So that's kind of tricky. But you also don't want them to have to wait because there's no one to play against because they're too good. You have to give them somebody. And you don't want that somebody to always be the same poor sucker who keeps getting placed against you, can't match up. So there's got to be a logic in that. And I'll figure that out later, but I will have to come up then. Oh, I'm getting the dog eye burn. I'm feeling the husky eye of it's time to eat or walk burning my burning my Yep, there she is. Hi. she's burning the hole in the back of my head. She's like, mm. Pretty soon she'll get up and she'll walk over here and she'll stand next to my chair and just stare at me until I give her some indication. If I get up right now, she'll start running up the steps. And then when we get to the middle of the steps, which is where the door is, she'll stop and go, no, we're going outside. It's like, but no, maybe we're not. All right, let's see what it says. These are industry observer ranges for Steam, modest. That's successful niche indie. He already gave me that. Football games have a unique concurrency profile. You're absolutely right. Football is popular, but geographically narrow. This means your concurrency ceiling is naturally lower than global genres like card battlers, roguelites, or shooters. But football fans are sticky. Sports players play daily, engage with stats, love progression systems, stick with games longer than average. So while your peak CCU may be low, your retention, long-term stability can be higher. Gosh, these are beautiful numbers. I don't know what I'd do if I was suddenly getting 10,000 to 40,000 people using my game every month. Now, granted, you're hoping those people are buying stuff because I'm not doing a lot of pay per play stuff. So the stuff they'd be buying are like additional leagues, joining special, creating. I'm going to have special leagues, additional leagues that they can buy. Things that are like, I just want more kind of things, right? You can still play all the time for free. I mean, I have a certain amount of play that you can do for free without ever buying anything. But there will be features and functionalities that come with buying the game first, and you're going to get most of that. But then if you want more, you can buy more, and I'm hoping people will want to have the more. And I also want to be able to provide, like, some players the ability who play a lot of the free to earn the ability to get some of the more. So you could theoretically get into earn tickets and passes to play in the things that might have to be paid for by people who maybe aren't successful that way, or maybe the people who are want to play in more of those. So they would buy season passes to play in seasons where there's more. Maybe you're playing at the higher tier, special high-end tier leagues that you want to get into. That kind of thing. I want to be able to have stuff like that so people want to buy that stuff. Because my game, I don't want it to have... I don't want to lose players because of the new season. Like if I create a new... Let's just say I create new features and new updates, or I create a new version. I want to implement it into the existing app, assuming I can, without making everybody buy to get the new version, because that means you have to transfer your user base, right? And transferring the user base is risky. Now you can charge less. Say I'm only going to charge $15 or $10 a year, but I don't want to have to make people subscribe either. I want them to be able to buy the game and it's gonna work for them. You don't have to subscribe. You don't pay for second year. You don't get second year. But so my goal is to compartmentalize updates. So when I do a new update, if you want the update, great. Certain functionality, if I improve how the game works and runs, like the actual simulation, then you're going to get that, because I don't want to block people from playing. Now, can I do that? Will I hit roadblocks that prevent that? It's hard to say at this time, but I'm trying to keep all that in mind so that when I am strategizing and building new chunks and everything gets compartmentalized. So if somebody buys the New Year's stuff or the new build stuff, they get those things enabled. So just like glues on, but there's services and parts that integrate themselves. So if you don't have those, you just don't have that piece, that integration. But how that works, I mean, I've have ideas for some things to be able to be pretty good that way, and others might not. So I don't know. I gotta strategize that. I've actually built a list of features that I think can be ran that way, that I want to do in the future that I can't do now because I'll never get the game released. So season 2, season 3, when I send those upgrades, DLCs, whatever you want to call them, upgrades, people will be able to buy the next stuff. And basically every new chunk is its own thing, but everything will have its own requirements. So you, like, if you get to like 4 seasons down and say, oh, I want that stuff, well, some of that stuff might require you to have the year before. So if you take the season 4 items, you never buy the season 2 and 3 items, some of those season 4 items might not be available to you unless you buy season 2 and 3. So you won't be able to skip because something's built off of other things. So I'm calling them seasons because I don't know. Year versions? I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm working on there. Let's see. Your game has several strengths. So football has a little bit more retention opportunities. So that's interesting. Not something, I guess makes sense, right? All right, so we are running this. Let's see. This is probably going to break right here because I waited too long. Oh, I ran. But, yeah. All right, let's go here. Store game rules by ID. We have, oh, look, it blew up. So what is happening? I wonder if that's where I meant to break. Maybe I broke in the wrong place last time. Why does this do that? I think it has something to do with time. So I hit the store and then I lose the store. Let's try it again. So we're going to go here and then, all right, so I'm going to go here. Nope, went right through it. Store. Oh, that's save. We haven't gotten to here. Let me see. Nope, it got through it, so that's not it. Whoa, how'd we end up here? Wait, did we just go back in time? Oh no, we didn't. All right, so yeah, if I sit around and talk too much, which is a real problem for me when I'm streaming, I'm a little. This piece here is what I was talking about earlier. Game, putting the plays in from the rules. I was originally doing that. I got to keep it for now because I don't want to break or change that right now. As long as it runs itself thoroughly through. RunGame. Receiving team ID. All right, so this is kind of after we've done the kick. Team play info, initial state, let's play game state. Let's go to the game log. So this is where I think things are breaking, if I'm correct. If I am not too delusional here. we have let's go to the game loop. I already have that, so I should have a break here. Nope, it broke. Why didn't it stop? Why didn't it stop at game loop? Oh, did it? I feel like there's something happening. It's like timing out or something in the middle of my stuff. It's like, is there a limit to how long it runs? Is there a timeout going? All right, well, I'm going to keep stepping through these, keep trying to figure out what's happening. I will find the error, the bug, we're losing something, but I think part of it is how fast I'm stepping through the code or not stepping through the code. I'll have to figure that out. But I'm going to take a break. I'll keep working on it, and hopefully next time we speak, I will have